Empezamos con la transmisión, ha empezado ya. Join Dota. Van a traer el día de hoy Navi versus Gamer University. Así estoy acá también ya. No te quiero escuchar a ti por el momento. Pero sí decirles que el día de hoy vamos a tener este encuentro Navi versus Gamer University. Finalmente el juego que tanto estaban esperando. El día de hoy tiene Gamer University tiene la oportunidad de demostrar de qué está hecho y tiene que ganar a Navi para seguir a la siguiente ronda. Y vamos a empezar con los picks. Veamos qué picks van a hacer. Vamos a dejar que Toby haga la narración de todo esto. Yo simplemente voy a dejar esto. Disfruten, chicos, disfruten.
Not much today. I'm sort of excited for this match. Took a while for everybody to arrive, but now everybody's here and we're ready to go.
Yeah, that they are, man. That they are. Because we did have everyone in at 5 minutes time. We had a small problem with a name that had to be changed around. But apart from that, we seem to be pretty good right now. And looks like we're already kicking ourselves into the draft. So Undying being banned out as well as the Coddle to start
Vemos
with.
que Navi ya baneó al Keeper of the Light. Han baneado al Undying.
His first pick over to Puppy, and he will still take the Knicks. Kind of surprised. Well, actually, I'm not really surprised.
Muy bien jugado de parte de Gamer University baneando a
instead of his normal
Magnus.
ban, which has now picked up the Wisp.
Yeah, I think that this is sort of a route that teams are going to take in the next few weeks is just try and experiment more with some of these heroes that seem to be always banned, and just let them through the pool every once in a while, just to get used to them, get to start playing them, because that's the only way you can find counters to them and find ways to really make them work. Because if you think about anime,
vemos el segundo pick de parte de Gamer University. Tienen a Wisp.
Top picked hero, and everybody's
Wisp
saying
y
there's no
Dark
counter to
Seer.
Animage, imbalanced hero, all this sort of thing. But because it was played every game, teams
Es
sort of
tiempo
found
de
ways to
Natus
deal with
y
it, even though
Navi
you
de
could still
escoger el
argue
siguiente
that it's
pick.
overpowered. So I feel like that's the same way with our current state of the pool is Nyx Assassin may be an overpowered hero, but by playing it lots, teams get to learn how to deal with it and how to make it work effectively.
Well, something which I know Navi like to run, and because it is going to work effectively for them. Not being banned out in this first set is going to be the Nakes.
Life Stealer
y
y Rubric.
We keep on seeing Nakes being picked up time and
Vamos
time
a ver
again.
a Life
We are
Stealer
finding
de
the
seguro
people are getting used to them, just like you
en
said with
bosque.
anime. So people get used to playing up against Snakes.
Tienen un
kite him up.
muy buen
Shadow Demon
support
being one of the
con
most
Rubric.
favorable picks up against the Nakes, because we did see yesterday even Viper being used to try and because they count the movement speed of Nakes, as it was discussed on Talk Dome the other night. The best way to shut down a Nakes is to basically kite him. And how do you kite him? You have an ultimate, which we all learned.
Es tiempo de Navi para el siguiente van. Veamos qué héroe van a banear.
Both Rage, both BKB. So it makes it very, very difficult for Nakes to follow
Imagino que
through.
va a
But
ser
Gamer
uno de los
University gonna take a more
counter pick que acaba de hacer
way of,
Gamer
of
University,
approaching this
sacando
game,
al
picking up the
Chaos
Chaos Knights,
Knight.
looking for that big stun, big initiation, and shutting down the Nakes and following him wherever he goes. Not going to be the easiest thing in the world, however, because they are going up against a Rubik as well as a Nyx, and that's going to be a lot of control coming out from Navi. Where right now, GU, they don't have a huge amount of control when it comes to ganking on the lanes.
Another interesting change actually this week is Gyrocopter's ultimate has been fixed such that it also slows down magic immune units. Doesn't do any damage, but Gyrocopter ultimate will now work against Lifestealer in terms of slowing him down. Not for this game, but as soon as that patch gets put into the main client.
Always having to keep our eyes open for, of course, I know Mousebot's going to be very, very happy with that kind of change up, considering they keep on running him all the damn time. Just taking out almost every possible jungle hero.
Los siguientes bans de Gamer University son Enigma y Chen.
Also surprisingly, considering we don't normally see the TA pickup.
De parte de Navi tenemos a Templar y tenemos al Enchanter en los bans. Finalizando con Puck.
I know that Navi is one of the few teams that still run Rubik mid. And Rubik can get into a little bit of trouble against a Templar Assassin in the mid lane, so that it may just be sort of, if they're thinking we want Dendia and Rubik, what does he lose to? What does Rubik lose to? Just take out those heroes, as well as Enchantress, because Rubik loses to ganks. So just get those heroes out. Make sure you have a solid foundation in mid lane, because you're pretty sure your Lifestealer lane is going to do just fine. And then just throw away something on the top lane. Have Light of Heaven get just as much farm as he can possibly manage out of that lane, and hope for the best.
Como dicen,
That is one way of looking at it, man, and we'll see if
van a dejar a Dendy ir a la línea del medio con Rubik.
What are we going to have now from Thumpy? We've finished all our bans, finished all our, not all our picks just yet, 2 left from either side.
Vamos a ver el siguiente
Just reminder too, guys, if you've just tuned in, of course we are
y de parte de Gamer University también ya completaron todos los
we are doing the best of 3 matchup. This is
los,
a
todos los
must-win game
bans.
for both these teams.
Tenemos
The
a
loser of this
Bartrider,
best of 3
Magnus,
will be out
Enigma,
of the defense.
Chen
That is the risk of the lower bracket.
Alondric.
The bracket matches will begin tomorrow with Empire going up against Virtus Pro. Should be one hell of a game, considering that for me is almost final level quality of the teams coming out.
Phantom Lancer.
And, hello. That's not exactly what we were expecting out from Na'Vi. We already
now I have asked us to play 2 heroes.
It can look that way, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be looking at Havorst up on the Nakes. It's what he's always been doing, but it does force them to run an aggressive lane. So be PL down the bottom lane up against the Darkseer? Really?
It could be Lifestealer against Darkseer.
It could also be dual lanes. It could be dual lanes. We could be
Yeah.
looking at Nakes as well as like Nyx, or Nakes and Rubik in towards that middle lane with PL as well as Nyx on the bottom lane, and then we're just missing our top lane hero. So if Na'Vi like pick up something like a Windrunner as their final selection right now, and there's our SD we were talking about before for the Nakes, I'm not liking his chances if PL's there. Yeah, so if Na'Vi just pick up like one long range, like one off lane hero right now, Bounty Hunter wouldn't be a bad option.
Na'Vi, como dice Toby, van a tener que ir por
I'm
un
figuring
range
they're locked
hero,
into Windrunner just because they
un
already
héroe de
have.
alcance. Ahí
Okay,
está.
Screw that. We're gonna go aggressive on the lane, which does now mean that we're looking at Rubik going as a solo mid, in my mind, unless we are going to couple the lanes up. But who's going to run the off lane? It's got to be an aggressive lane, which means both Nyx as well as Lina
Van a
both
tener
have
una
it up top,
línea
or
muy,
Rubik
muy
and Lina
agresiva
have
con
it up
Lina y
top with
Phantom
either
Lancer. En
Lifesteal
el
or
caso que
PL.
vaya con Nyx o con
That's what we're looking at
Lifestealer
right now.
haciendo una
And GU
tri-lane.
might see this coming
Bastante
as well.
agresivo.
Like they got Shadow Demon with as well as Chaos Knight. Their level 1 fight is going to be nowhere near as good as Na'Vi's. But what they will have is security in their lane if their supports remain close enough.
Well, I mean, Gamer University may be thinking, oh, Na'Vi can lane either Rubik or Nyx mid. They can either tri-lane the Lifestealer or tri-lane the Phantom Lancer, and the opposite one is just going to be solo in the bottom lane. They may just say, we don't care, Darkseer's fine against either of those, we're still going to keep our lanes the same. It doesn't matter whether we get a Lifestealer tri-lane or whether we get a Phantom Lancer tri-lane. We're happy either way.
Bueno,
And that's sort of what it's looking like with their picks. I mean, Chaos Knight Wisp,
eso es más o menos lo que van
pretty
a,
strong
lo que dicen,
combination.
¿no?
Darkseer obviously
Que
is happy to go
no
wherever
importa
he
la
needs to go.
tri-lane que vaya a ser Na'Vi,
But Gamer University
Darkseer
may actually
debería
do a
de
dual
estar
lane mid and
completamente
pick,
tranquilo
sort of a
haciendo
strong
un
hero
solo.
that can
Ya
just
sea,
survive
me imagino que van a ir
that
a,
top lane
va a agarrar el top lane.
with a Shadow Demon and support.
Veamos qué tal.
Well, Juggernaut's going to be a final
Juggernaut
pickup
de
here for
parte de
GU.
Gamer University, y así terminan los picks. Bastante interesante.
We're looking
Darkseer,
at dual
Wisp,
lanes here for
CK,
GU now.
Shadow Demon.
If you're going up against
y
so many
Jugger.
heroes that are going to be stunning you and just like
Tenemos
combining
a
up, what do you need?
Dendy
You need
con
Magic
Rubik.
Community. And that is exactly what the Juggernaut's going to provide up on the top lane. So GU will be getting dual lanes up on top as well
Vamos
as
a
mid.
ver